Prophet, exactly how we saw, it was Cloud9 actually versus Navi, where they just ganked Dandy over and over again. But besides that, there's nothing. She's just gonna spam, you know, and push the wave. So she's gonna get what she needs.
The thing is that even if you can't stop her, you can actually go with a hero that can also trade farm and do effectively. Heroes like TA, like Dragon Knight, that will be able to sustain and stay there in the lane. If the Death Prophet just stays there and trades farm, well, it's good for you because those heroes come online early and they can take towers or take supports fast and maybe even do Roche in the other game.
Right now, the bans are very similar to what we saw yesterday. The Pugna ban, the Visage ban. It's the only ban that's different is the Laundry. And it makes sense when you see the team fight power of VG Gaming. If you add pushing forward to that, it's actually super scary to deal with.
And the Doom doesn't do much to a Lone Druid, similar to a Death Prophet, so it's quite a big counter.
So it's Kyra, it's the same. They can't take down the Lone Druid, he's too tanky. And I mean, it's gonna be VG Gaming again pressuring Cloud9. That's for sure. Yesterday, Cloud9 had no output potential at all, so they were forced to take fights versus Sand King, Bristleback, Doombringer, which is not something you always want, Dazzle, etc. So maybe this time around they're like, we need some out-pushing potential, or then they have another plan. AUI just said they had a plan, so let's see what's the plan.
Well, final ban's going to come in for the second round, and it's going to be the Ember Spirit targeted at Sing Sing, and you saw also there the Visage as well targeted at the combo that Cloud9 can run. And we're going back to the picks, and VG Gaming off the back of their first two, where would you like to see them go?
It's going to be complicated for them because they can always keep going for the team fight, which is what VG Gaming does really well. And the Jakiro, the 1-7 Jakiro in this tournament, not a hero that's doing particularly great, but if pushing is what you want to do, Jakiro can create a lot of space for you. The damage he can do with the macro power, with the dual breath, and of course the liquid fire on the towers make sure that taking them down is so easy.
I mean, this is the VG Gaming we saw game after game after game during the group stage especially. They were winning games in 10, 15, 20 minutes. They had the shortest match time, push after push, and especially on the Dire side. They love being on that Dire side. This is the second game in a row against Cloud9 where they can get beyond Dire, and defending towers is going to be tricky for Cloud9. The Jakiro also is great at taking early Roches with the liquid fire, and I think Cloud9 is going to be under a lot of pressure. They're going back for it. My worry with this is it worked so well against Na'Vi because Na'Vi weren't ready for it. They didn't expect Dendi to be ganked so many times and get completely shut down. VG Gaming, if they've seen that game, they'll know they need to protect the Death Prophet mid. I don't think we'll see Death Prophet die 2-3 times in the first 10 minutes of the game.
But it's also the fact that when you get a Bounty Hunter, the potential chance of winning your off lane is increased just from the Bounty Hunter being there. And if your off lane is doing really well, your safe lane should be doing well, and Sing Sing mid will probably trade farm, you could have free calls that when it comes to the fights under the tower, that are actually all going to be pretty much healthy online and doing something. Because when this turns up, like, okay, Jakiro is very strong at pushing towers, but if you miss ice paths and if you don't get things going in your way, because you at the moment they only have a Ravage to kind of back up, like in terms of keeping people in place, you can take advantage of VG Gaming if you can break them. But if your calls do well, that's a potential that you can fight really, really, really strong. But if it doesn't go well, you kind of feel like a 4v5 team where Bounty Hunter doesn't assist under the towers by any means.
My big concern for Cloud9 right now is that they really lack damage. I mean, sure, they have the Kairos burst damage, but besides that, they have nothing. Early on, the Doom is not going to deal damage in the first fight, when he's going to have mech, mana boots, or just a Midas. It's not going to deal. And VG Gaming is going to be looking to push really early with that kind of line. But they don't even need the mech, they just need to go. And Cloud9 is really lacking damage, and it's going to be impossible for them to actually initiate well on VG Gaming, because if it's not for the Tide, then it's going to be the Shaker fissuring you. If it's not the Shaker, it's going to be the Ice Pass. It's going to be really hard to actually get to that Death Prophet if they want to take her down. So I'm not sure about this. Like, VG Gaming is going to be looking to push, and so far Cloud9 has no answer besides crushing the lanes and crushing the game. But
that's where the Earthshaker pick's really smart. Like, you want to protect your lanes and prevent the Bounty Hunter doing his thing. Earthshaker sit behind mid, protect the Death Prophet. Your safe lane, like, sure, the Bone 7's going to get some farm, but Bone 7 getting farm isn't a big problem as long as they're not getting kills and shutting down your Death Prophet.
Yeah, but the only problem is that Bone 7 is one of the most aggressive players. Yeah. is insanely good on the Clockworks, and the THD, I don't see any combo right now, THD plus X, pushing back a Clockwork. So he's gonna get good farm, good levels, and he might crush the game exactly like we saw him do versus Navi, because Fisher is good to counter-initiate mid, but if it's a hook, he's gonna get a kill regardless of the Fisher.
That is the thing, the Clockwork is this tool that, going back to TI4, was the counter to the Magnus. Remember, it was all about the Magnus getting those initiation, those RPs. You suddenly got the Clockwork there and he will stop the Magnus from initiating. This time, different story, but same hero. It's not about stopping the initiation, it's all about just getting to the hero that's going to be so protected. And once you get the Clockwork 1v1 with the Death Prophet, then everyone has to go on surround and try to protect the open space for the Doom to get there, for the Bounty Hunter to start tracking people, and for the Skywrath Mage to Mystic Flare the people that are inside the cogs.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also, when you're Vici Gaming, you now have to think about, okay, if we're going anywhere into the mid-game or after our tier 1s, if we're trading, okay, we're going to need a 4-staff, because anybody who gets caught by that Clockwork, if he's doing well, and that's the only reason it would be going bad in the mid-game, if the Clockwork does well, you want to be able to 4-staff out of the cogs to save what are your very important heroes like the Death Prophet. So we'll see how Clone 7 is going to be able to handle that, and we saw Sing Sing talking a lot in the booth there, probably giving suggestions on what he wants to play mid. Vici Gaming going to remove the Alchemist, Cloud9 with their final ban. Yeah, looking to remove
they needed a Sylar here. The Prophet ban, sure, Clockwork's pretty good against the Prophet, but if you don't get the early kills, if you don't do really well in the lane, then that's where Prophet can be an absolute beast. So Vici Gaming gonna probably need to look for something else for Sylar, unless they're gonna go really gimmicky and run like a farming Jakiro.
Why not like a Morphling or something?
Yeah. In my opinion, the best option for Vici Gaming right now is to run a THD core and get another strong support, because, okay, they're gonna get a Luna. But that's actually good, because it's, I think, one of the best pick to get versus the Clockwork, you know, because of the Luna Aura, THD is going to be able to zone out the Clockwork quite okay. He's going to get XP, but he's not going to get farm, because if he goes to the creep, that's just too much physical damage.
Yeah, and I'm not too concerned right now if I was Cloud9, because Vici Gaming, yes, they have a deadly push, but if you go back to their roots, their early periods when they were speed gaming, or even before when they were Kaipi, they were very known for just losing all their tier 2 towers and turtling really, really well, extending that game 50 minutes long and then taking the game out of a mistake from the enemy.
But they don't have the best late game right now, I don't need to worry. Like,
one hero could change that.
It could. Well, it's going to be a Sing Sing here most likely, and that's where, like, Bounty Hunter is not a late game hero. Skywrath Mage falls off against BKBs.
Brewmaster was really good, but because of the Death Prophet, he's not anymore. Yeah, I can't see a Sing Sing hero that would work. Maybe they want to be looking at an Invoker to get some burst damage.
I think Brewmaster would still be okay. You're only up against one silence. You know, if they let through the Nature's Prophet and you potentially had Sylar with the Orchid as well, it would be a nightmare. But definitely very playable for Sing Sing. But what do you think of, like, would a TA be a bad choice?
Yeah, I think TA is a bad choice because of the Death Prophet and THD. She's just gonna melt.
Yeah. Even something like a Kunkka, you need some damage, you need some team fight.
Like
Sing Sing's solo mid Kunkka is...
Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, it's a Meepo. They're gonna bring it back.
But that's a Meepo versus full AoE lineup. Yes. Like, really 5-hero AoE.
They're not gonna be team fight. They're going to be playing keep away, avoid team fights, split push, like creep skipping waves, just trying to stall the push with this Meepo pick.
Yeah, it might work, but yeah, because Vici has not
believe,
much
Sam, believe.
Yeah, I believe in Sing Sing actually, but I'm just scared of that Fairway Shaker. If he gets a dagger fast, then Sing Sing's in trouble. If he doesn't, I think Cloud9 has a good shot.
All right, well, Seb's not entirely convinced, or at least worried, for the final pick here for Cloud9, and we'll see if it works out for him, because if they lose this, they are out of the tournament. If they win, they can tie it up to a 1-1 scoreline, and then have another shot of moving on to the next round. All the players are now loading in, so let's get this match on the way. It's game 2. We'll send it over to our commentators.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody here to the Key Arena on this wonderful Sunday morning. I'm Toby1, joined by Lumi. And man, for everyone out there that believed in Dota 2, belief has been rewarded. We have ourselves a Meepo here on the main stage, played up by Sing Sing.
We had him playing Meepo in multiple games in the group stage. We had him played it in different tournaments, but doing it in the main stage, facing elimination. If they lose this match, Cloud9's going home with 650,000, a big chunk of money, but really a lot less than what they really want to come here and get. and they have the confidence to run one of those heroes that we don't really see in competitive play anymore.
How greedy is it though? Like you think about the lineup of VG Gaming. VG Gaming, you just put Echo Slam on this one, you throw Ravages with Anchor Smashes, you got Luna's Glaze bouncing around. Obviously it's great to soak up her Eclipse, but then you've got like your ultimate coming out from Jakiro, you've got everything coming out from VG Gaming. They've got so much AoE up against this Meepo. I'm wondering if Sing can get enough farm that he can survive through it all.
30 seconds. I think you're absolutely right. I think once it gets to the stage where Meepo is forced to face tank all of the spells, the game is essentially over. What Cloud9 is looking to do is what they did against Na'Vi in that game 3. Just beat them 10 minutes in, because once this game drags on, I don't think Meepo as a core is alone to outcarry everything VG's got. But what Meepo does bring to the table is a ton of burst damage. Combining him and Mystic Flare, you could have an easy way of removing Death Prophet and Luna before she get her BKB. So I think the focus on Cloud9 is to win the lane, just snowball completely out of control. Whereas VG Gaming, they're playing their standard game. Get their ultimate to 6 and start deathballing and pushing for towers and towers and towers.
Man, I'm actually wondering too, like in the very, very late game, what have you really got from VG Gaming to stop the split push of Meepo? Like, you go jumping a Krob or a Luna around the map, trying to do that?
I think a Blink Earthshaker could definitely set things up, but we're very far away from that point.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Let's focus on our early game. So as far as lanes go, we have Super as the Death Prophet going up against Sing's Meepo. As we would have expected, Pylai Dai is here on the off lane. They ran this exact combination going up against Na'Vi, where they have Bone 7 as a Clockwork and Pylai making the supporting plays here. The major difference is the fact that one Pylai is already down at 1/3 of his life points up against FY, and FY is still walking around with the sentry wards. He didn't go Chill Breath, he went for his Liquid Fire to start with. Also in towards the middle lane, Fenrir is making a rotation. Throws the Fissure, but Sing's on the wrong side of it. So he can't lock him in there with Super. But yeah, what happened really well on this top lane was the fact that he managed to zone out Nature's Prophet during that game yesterday. But he's not going to have as much luck because you don't have VG Gaming trying to run an offensive tri-lane.
Yeah, the difference is he is allowing Bone 7 to get a ton of experience. Offlane Bone 7 already at level 2 at this point, so he should be able to assist with Rocket Flares once he hits level 4, I imagine.
Oh, they're thinking about Fenrir. Look at Bone 7. He's actually got really high movement speed up against that Earthshaker. Just a simple lead. If you can get that Bounty Hunter up to level 2 and have a Chinada attack, then you got a lot more potential for kill power.
Yeah, that is always a problem when you're running a roaming Bounty Hunters. How do you find that level 2? You could do it by leeching. You could do it by maybe backstabbing mid, and it looks like Pylai Dai has that
He's looking for the courier. He's waiting for the courier to come out with the bottle from middle lane. Because Super, actually, funnily enough, Super CS, even though it's 8 for 1, he's still not ready to pick up the bottle.
Yeah, normally if you're playing this particular style, as you see the mid hero, you look at what item she's got. If you see her that she's got a full no talisman, you know she's not rushing for the bottle. So you could hang out on the top lane for a little bit. But if you see she is rushing for the bottle, you make that headway to mid. But the courier, as we speak, is coming out. So Pylai Dai, he needs, I believe, 2 hits to get that courier kill.
Yeah, he'll need 2.
I don't think he'll get off 2 though, because Finrar's in here and he's ready to fissure away.
VG Gaming are very much aware of what could possibly go wrong. Is Fenrir actually I'm gonna laugh if the Earthshaker is now becoming, he's actually becoming the courier for the bottle. In the meantime, on bottom lane, ROTK is forced completely back on insanely low life. But Pylai's getting nothing, with Fenrir doing the job here from Super.
Yeah, as analysts pointed out, like this strategy has been ran so many times. Look at the sentry wards on the mid and top. That's where Pylai Dai spends most of his time ganking. And the fact that there's sentries down, that he can't do anything. And essentially, you have a glorified melee creep that's running around and not doing anything.
See, at the same time, these sentry wards were here for the last game. For the Na'Vi game, except they're a little bit further up. So on the middle lane area, it was actually a little bit further down here on the ramp. That's where they threw the ward out. They're having a little bit higher on the ground means you can see when he rotates out the jungle just that little bit sooner. And up on the top lane, the ward was actually up in this little box right here, which means where Silas is currently farming had more vision. But because they plant the ward a little bit further down, they're trying to actually keep the lane forced out a little bit more. Now Pylai Dai, yeah, he's going to realize that he's being watched because Super is now back at the tower for no real appropriate reason, but with support coming in from Eternal Envy, okay, he has nothing to really stop down. He sees the courier, but he's just beating inside of Super and just trying to force him off the lane. This is just space being created, and they're sacrificing some other things. We should have also flagged too that ROTK came down here with an absolute ton full of regen. Even after like 2 minutes, he still had 10 Tango charges down here on the Tidehunter.
That was a very interesting rotation from Cloud9 because you pull your safe lane carry to mid and you're not really exactly ganking successfully. So meanwhile, I know Aoi 2000, he is getting a little bit of experience, but the trade is perhaps not worth it. He finds a haste ring though, and it looks like he's going to go back on the bottom. Meanwhile, VG Gaming, I think their game plan is progressing absolutely according to plan. You pick the Shaker, you protect your lanes, the Sentry Wars are doing an excellent job like you mentioned. And all you really want is those level 6s, so I think VG Gaming is doing exactly what they want out of the draft, and so far it's up to Cloud9 to execute.
See, I'm not sure this will be enough though. Look at the Radiant jungle right now. I'm seeing double stacks, I'm seeing MV farm up one, I'm seeing Sing Sing actually farm up his own stack as well. He's cracked level 6 already. This is what's going to happen, okay? You want to protect your lanes. I can completely understand that one. But what happens when you let a Meepo free farm to a point? Like, he's free farming up the jungle, and you know he's going to burst farm as well with levels. You got Bone7 who's up at level 5 up on the top lane before we're even 5 minutes in. Pylai shot, he's got no experience, but the Earthshaker, he's only about to crack level 2. He's got very little to boot as well. Jakiro, hey, yeah, sure, he's level 4, but you've still got a Meepo who's going to completely out-level everybody, and all it's going to take is one good hook shot, as well as one nice combination with a Mystic Flare, and you got yourself a nice kill.
I think you hit it on the head in terms. Well, we might see an engagement up top as Pylai died. It looks like we're going to see a little bit of gold. Probably not going to die that time.
He couldn't get close enough for the power cogs, and without having the power cogs out of range of the tower, or at least a way to trap a hero outside of range of the tower, it's just not worth going for.
Yeah, I think Meepo free farm is a thing, but it's not a thing that could actually stop a push. And that's really where VG Gaming will excel. They're going to just storm down mid, and unless Meepo have Blink Dagger and Aghanim set
coming bottom lane, Envy, he's going to loop himself around the tree line and find Fenrir just sitting here on the bottom lane. He's coming down here for Arcane boost. He's not coming down here for anything else.
Yeah, he's not going to get the kill. He really will need Doom to make that kill happen.
He can cut his way out of that one. He's okay.
It's very interesting that they're giving Aoi so much mana, or so much experience, excuse me. And I think that they're really recognizing the fact they need early game burst damage. If you look at the experience, Aoi has more experience than Eternal Envy, which is not exactly a common sight for support to have more than a carry. But another rotation is going to come down to mid lane. And again, Pylai Dai, he is at level 2. And once that push comes, sure, you have a very farmed people, but you also have a very underfarmed Bounty Hunter. You have a Skyrap base that can hold a push. I think VG Gaming is very happy with the exchange you're getting right now.
Middle tower
Super's about to force the bottom lane. As TP's coming back towards the middle lane, at the same time, Meepo knows he can gank up whoever he wants to until he gets close to Meepo's liquefied, and then he has to back up a little bit further. But Super is in fact now moving into the Radiant. I think he's just Rarity Gate. There's the Ravage on the bottom lane with the Fisher as well. Empty, he's too low on life. He does go down. Trying to look the Thunderclap to give himself a little bit more space.
Pylai Dai coming in from the backside. He's going to try to pick him up, but he's only got a level 1 Shuriken Toss. Not exactly doing a ton of damage. He will have another Shadow Walk if he wants to go for it. Breaks out. Shuriken.
He doesn't have enough mana.
Oh, Fable though.
Oh, that's
Fable's going to get the kill, but it looks like Aoi's going to lose his life as well. Pylai Dai, he's looking for mana. He's trying to juke himself out of there. He's got no more tango. He needs 10 more mana, and that's yet another free kill. Remember, the mantra of Cloud9 coming into this game is win the lanes and then just snowball, but it's VG Gaming that's taking the control of the early game.
Yeah, that it is, and this is not what Z9 want to have happen. Now you end up having like Doombringer, who's got 1 death to his name. He's got, obviously, going to have to devour his way back up again, but because he doesn't have high levels yet, we don't have this high easy devour, and they're actually switching almost Aoi into a core role. He just cracked his level 6, so the nukage is on the bottom lane, and VG Gaming might have to be a little bit more respective of this now, especially considering their Ravage is down for a while.
Yeah, looks like I think the comeback is going to happen from Bone7. He's picked up a smoke for himself. He's now smoking himself top, but they really need maybe Aoi to TP in to relay that burst damage, which his teleport scroll is on cooldown. So I'm not exactly sure what the game plan is for Bone7. I mean, Bone7 in theory could hook in against Sylar, but that Eclipse is going to shred him before he kills Sylar.
Mid lane push is coming. Sing Sing is just continuously farming up inside the jungle with the Crob ulti going off. Exorcism's going to help to bring down this tier 1 town, but Fortification is still available, and there is a creep wave here as well. They put an Observer Ward C9 on the dire side of the river, so they're able to know exactly how many people VG Gaming have here and where they are. And there goes Fortification. So they commit 4 heroes VG Gaming. They pop the Exorcism, as well as the DD Rune and the Death Prophet. They haven't brought down the tier 1 tower, and Silas farming up on top lane. So who's really getting the better trade-off here?
Maybe not for long. The clock will go.
No!
It missed. Keymind Sylar has it
He
clipped.
took it. still got him. He's still got him. With the battery assault, there's more than enough damage. Siler will go down. Piledai was getting right up in front of him as well. And that's much needed levels. Piledai is now almost level 5. Bone 7, a very uncharacteristic. After his like flawless clock play the other day, that was an uncharacteristically missed hook, but they still get the kill.
Yeah, Clockwork is going to be a key hero for Cloud9. He needs to get back, or at least get some sort of mana, because the push on the mid lane is going to come soon. It's really up to him to initiate for the team. Meanwhile, for the rest of Cloud9, well, they just keep on farming. But I think if you're Vici Gaming, even though you just lost your core Luna, you're completely happy with how the game state is going right now. And Sylar, yeah, he's joining the push. Here comes that death ball, and I don't think Cloud9 has what it takes to defend. Meepo's going to let loose the nets, but look at how easy it is for Vici Gaming to drive everybody back. They just have superior push power.
Radiant's
middle tower has fallen.
But now, I'm still watching that Meepo very, very closely.
Dire's top
with strength
tower
treads
is
up,
under
he's walking
attack.
around with an overclub as well. You know, it's just some extra life points for now, but once he has the Aghanim Scepter upgrade,
Radiant's bottom
then we're going to be
tower is
seeing
under
a
attack.
lot more Meepo and a lot tankier Meepo. And that's why I don't know if Super's really got enough damage to actually get through all of the Meepos. This is still, for me, like, he's the wild card of Cloud9. If Meepo continues to gain farm, if Meepo is continuing to give space, he is going to walk over this VG Gaming lineup because he's going to come with burst damage. Meanwhile, up on top line Clockwork, and we're going to pick up on the Luna. RTK looking for a little bit of revenge here. Clockwork, that time was a hook shot to connect, and they had to bring extra support. Rotated up towards the top lane, and RTK commits to Ravage, but now Super, not the great position for him. Seal up, Bone 7, the fish will actually connect on him. He's walking away, and Super getting nuked down by Owie. Bone 7 will take a fall. But it's the Meepo who actually gets the kill over on the Death Prophet.
This is exactly what Cloud9 wants to happen, and
tower
Vici
is
does
under
not.
attack.
They don't want to be trading kills here and there. They want to be trading, well, not trading, they just want to be taking towers. And in fact, it's Cloud9 that's actually taking a tier 1 bottom, forcing a TP. That's going to be Sylar teleporting in.
This is dangerous, man.
Yeah.
He's got Doom up and running, and Bounty Hunter's right behind him. So the extra TP comes in from FY, and now Piledai. In fact, Sentry was straight away from FY. He's making sure he knows exactly where this Bounty is, and Bounty's already rotated off. They're looking towards ROTK, Mr. No Ravage in the middle lane.
Meanwhile, it looks like Cloud9 did put a Sentry in range. It's pretty key.
Middle lane, there's already Earthbind going on ROTK. Is there more damage? Secondary Earthbind, but the Poop's a little bit too far away from the 1000 life point hero, as Piledai is just stalking FY as well as Super. As a second, no, he's camping next to his own Sentry ward. And Bone 7, well, the smoke's going to break if he moves any closer, but he's looking for a hook shot moment. Comes up high ground, that's just at the same time Jakiro is backed up. They're checking all the jungle camps. If they walk themselves a little bit further up towards the mid lane, they'll see Fenrir. So it's Bone 7's choice, but it'll be a very unwise choice to hook shot into a 4-man smoke of Vici Gaming.
Well, Vici also spoke up, and looks like their target is going to be Eternal Envy on the bottom lane. Quickly checking on the teleport scrolls on Cloud9. They don't really have any. Clockwork's got one, but if Clockwork TP's into assist Eternal Envy, it's going to be a double kill going towards Vici.
That's how they get eyes. Envy's worked it out. Everybody is missing from every single lane. But Super, Sylar, RTK, FY, they all show themselves in this bottom lane, and they're going to assume the Doombringer is just TP'd out, which he has.
Yeah, that's a great trade for Vici Gaming. Essentially, both smokes were used on both teams, and it was Vici that got a tier 1, Cloud9 got nothing. They're going to try to pressure the mid tower a little bit, but
Dire's middle tower
I mean, the Dire team just push way quicker, and they defend much better as well, thanks to Crypt Swarm.
For now, Owie, he's actually reached the tier 1 tower on the top lane. It's kind of funny, he hit level 6 a long time ago, but there's been no more transition for him. He's been forced to rotate around as well. They're going for a very quick rush. But at the same time, I'm seeing a Clockwork rocket come down, so they're perfectly scattered out here by Bone 7. Really smart shit for that. And now RTK getting bashed up by Roshan for helping him out. He's a half-life, he does have Ravage available, but C9 are happy with this. They're actually taking trades off. T1 tower on the bottom lane's going down. T1 tower on the top lane is almost dead as well. And if they can actually contest Roshan, they're all coming in. Bone 7, he's got a hook shot up and running to the corner. Roshan's in the way. They're low, there's your ice path. Where's your Earthline? Roshan hook shot in! And it's killed by the dive side. Liberal picking up with the Skyrim Mage Ultimate. It's hurting VG Gaming badly. Bone 7 is so low in life, but he's still fighting it out. VG Gaming, they got the Aegis, he want to bring the Luna back to life again, but Sing Sing, he's going to turn back into Macro Fire, he can't grip in time. He burns in the fire and the flames. And now he 2000 still wants to keep fighting out here, but now the Eclipse from Sylar destroys one, destroys two, goes through the Doombringer. A double kill for Sylar. And now they might get a full genocide on Aoi, and there it is. Fenrir dropping the Echo Slam with the Crypt Swarm and the Lucid Beam. More than enough damage.
I mean, if Bone 7 hooked in a little bit sooner, and if he got the Aegis, that would have been a totally different fight. But the fact that Sylar survived and dropped that Eclipse, now he's up to 2,000 gold. I think that BKB will be coming very soon. And it's not just the BKB on Sylar, it's also the Blink Dagger that will be coming for Fenrir. I think that is going to be the key item for Vici Gaming. If you could blow up the Meepo before he blows you up, suddenly the game is essentially over for Cloud9. With that said though, Meepo did pick up an Aghanims, and that's going to make it much, much tankier for these upcoming fights.
Should be watching top lane right now. Pylai Die as well as Bone 7. Hook shots coming off cooldown. You do have track available for Pylai Die, so he's got to give a little bit of extra vision by tanking up a couple of guys. But with the Aghanim set to Meepo, we've got him arriving up on top lane, bottom lane, and inside of his own mid lane. So he's everywhere right now. And he'll be coming up to the top lane. That track on FY perfect. Bone 7 can't land there. Stop something and now there he goes. One up the Fenrir. And he can't even get the future off. The ulti is out right now. The exits from Death Rock, but it's just thing. That's a lot of damage in the double Earthbind. Over on Silent, Envy dropping way too low for that back row. He's got to keep up with the fight for the moment. FY very low on life. Aoi trying to finish him up with Bone 7 and Boon. And then actually managed to get through 4 heroes from VG Gaming. About to become 5. RTK, there's your pooping again.
And the reverse team fight for Cloud9. The reason they win this fight is because there's no Ravage, there's no Eclipse, and Cloud9 took that fight knowing that, and the track just gave them so much gold. If you look at the gold graph, it's going to be a spike upwards, not including this tier 2. Cloud9's right back into this game, but the next fight is going to determine a lot, because that's going to be the fight where Vici Gaming has their biggest tools. I just hope that Vici Gaming was able to spend their gold, because they just gained a lot and lost a lot.
That they did. That they did. But hey, man, C9, it's still in there. It's their decision when they go in. Clockwork, well, his initiation, alongside the amount of straight-up damage that comes to the Meepo, once that Blink Dagger is also over on Sing Sing, it's going to come a lot faster and a lot harder against Vici Gaming. But Vici Gaming, it's all about the timing. When do they have Ravage? When do they have Eclipse? You said it before. C9 got on the upper hand of that fight because Vici Gaming didn't have the big skills to pay the bills. They needed to be able to time this right. And at the same time, force C9 to come into them while these big ultis are up? Because C9 may just evade. Just split and evade.
I think splitting and evade is a fine strategy for Cloud9, but they gotta keep in mind they're working with some resemblance of a clock, right? Because not the hero clock, but the time clock. Because if you look towards the late game, there's still a Luna, right? There's still a double Ravage. There's still a Death Prophet. So I feel that if this game goes late enough, that's where Cloud9 will really struggle as well. Also, I don't think Cloud9 has one of those heroes such that if they win a fight, for example, you could break high ground, take 2 lanes of Ravage. You don't have something like Shadow Shaman. You don't have a hyper pusher. You just have more Meepo kind of hitting the towers, and not sure that's enough. So I think Vici Gaming, they have a lot more room.
Ooh, Pylai Die.
He can't have Dust, and Sentry's gonna be there.
Yep.
Oh, he's dead.
He's healed enough, he doesn't have invisible, and with both Crypt Storm as well as Lucid Beam and the rest of the Vici Gaming, they do pick him off. It was the initial Sentry ward that was a little bit further down inside the jungle, the one boxed up right there. That's the one that revealed him out. They just held him in position, they realized where he would move, and just held him there.
So I think that Vici Gaming has a lot more room for mistake because Cloud9 doesn't push that well. Whereas if Cloud9 loses one fight next to their towers, you can bet that tower and the next one is definitely going down. So Vici Gaming, should they be able to move across to the other side of the map, I think that's where they really want to take these fights.
Check out the item which we got over on Eternal Envy. He actually went for a Blink Dagger. Now this is a Blink Dagger 18 minutes into the game. We talk about having big ultimas coming out from VG. He's got the potential to just remove it from Tidehunter. So there will be no Ravage in the fight. As long as Eternal Envy can blink himself in and get that level 2 Doom off, there is no Ravage for the engagement.
Yeah, I think the juiciest target right now is definitely Super, because if you Doom him up, you prevent a lot of what he can bring to the table. Yeah. Obviously, Luna, getting her before she uses BKB and Clips is absolutely huge, but the problem with that is the cast time of Doom is so long. You blink in and suddenly they're casting your spells. So it's a very aggressive item chart for Eternal Envy. There's a high upside, but I don't know. I feel like it's a very risky move.
Look at the movement coming up towards top lane. They're bringing everybody. All Meepos off the lanes. They're just soaking up the VG Gaming jungle, which is hilarious considering how much VG Gaming have put into this. They put down 3 sentry wards to either, well, 1 look for the hero and 2 look for the other wards that were coming out from C9. The aggressive ones that give the positional. But they haven't actually spotted the main one, which is in the mid lane. It's right smack bang here in front of their tier 3 tower, and it's looking at every single rotation VG Gaming is doing. Meanwhile, Benji bottom lane, that's going to be fast. Echo Slam, and she committed to kill opponent 7, but when you got that blade mail already over on this guy, they can't get the kill. The mech was even shared out there from Eternal Envy, and he blinked himself down into the lane and away to safety.
After sealing the stack, there's only 1 big creep left in the stack, so big win for Cloud9, or at least economically. The one thing that Cloud9 also have to be very concerned about is that once these defensive items starts to get built up on VG Gaming, essentially Cloud9 has a big burst cannon of damage, right? You have the Meepo poofing in, and then you have the Mystic Flare. But a single Yule Scepter, for example, or a single activation of BKB completely stops that.
Yep.
Essentially then, you have committed all your spells on a kill that you're not getting, and then you're fighting for the next 10 seconds without your big burst damage. That's where Cloud9 gets in trouble. They need to force kills, and they need to get them clean, crisp, and consistently. If they don't do that, Cloud9 will be losing these fights. So as we approach this mid and late game, I just see VG Gaming has the better draft. They have the draft that could make more mistakes and still win. So I think Cloud9's going to have a tough time coming into this mid and late game.
See, for me, man, I'm sitting on the other side of the fence of this one. I look at C9's draft and I go, you know what? Economy-wise, you're still running a Doombringer as well as a Bounty Hunter. You're still putting in a lot of money. As long as Twilight Die can actually get past like level 7 and get up to something more like level 11 and have the second level track. And you've still got a Meepo who can split push this game out. Luna or no Luna, Luna can deal with it once it reaches her base, but until that point, you've just got C9 farming and trying to basically suffocate VG Gaming on their own side of the map. So it's up to VG Gaming to come out, and that's when C9 can fight. Bone 7, okay, well, Silence a little bit off target. They've just put him up with a Yule Scepter, but that's all. And they've got 5 heroes here in the middle lane, while you're still running Eternal Envy, who's actually blinked himself into a tree line in the bottom lane, which is
he likes to do that.
Yeah, he'll blink himself out now and get that Devour off. But yeah, you're farming everywhere across the map right now, and VG Gaming, they're forced to be a 5-man team. They're not going to get the best advantage out from this one, and it's showing in the graphs. You're up to 4,000 experience, you're up to 3,000 gold, and it's this continuous rise coming the way of C9, where VG Gaming have every ulti apart from Echo Slam off cooldown.
Yeah, it's really the age-old question when it comes to Dota. Like, one team fights better, but the other team split push better, and that's really what we're seeing here. Cloud9, well, I'm not sure whether they take the fight, but they're definitely not taking the fights at all, choosing not to.
Yeah.
And they're farming for days, you know?
That's
where the blink dagger on Jim comes in. If you're not looking to fight, that helps you run away. Obviously, it helps you get into the fight as well. There's that.
Dire's bottom
This is the tower
tower is
trade-off
under
too.
attack.
Tier 1 tower will go down on this bottom lane. They can't bring enough support
Radiant's
down here to
top
stop it.
tower is
So
under
VG
attack.
Gaming, they just bring their own
Dire's
power. But look at Sing
structures
Sing, he's
are
also
fortified.
skipping it out. He's taken out the creep
Radiant's
wave.
top tower
So this
has
is the
fallen.
only creep wave VG Gaming have. There's
Dire's
more
bottom
momentum
tower
coming for
has
C9
fallen.
on the bottom lane. So if this just becomes a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade,
Radiant's top tower is under
I still
attack.
see C9 being happy with
If
this
you're
one.
Dire's
Cloud9, you
middle
go
tower
for the trades
is
because
under
you don't
attack.
have a pushing lineup.
Radiant's
In fact, those
structures
trades
are fortified.
actually, is that Courier gonna get picked up?
Courier, no, top lane. Don't be there, Courier. The blink
Dire's
dagger is still there for
bottom
Sing
tower
Sing,
is
and he
under
got it. The tier 2
Radiant's
tower
top
will also
tower
take a
has
fall on the
fallen.
bottom lane. This is so much
Dire's
money coming the
middle
way of
tower is
C9.
under
Look at this, the creep wave's already pushed out. It looks like Ogron's gonna hook away.
It was the safer thing to do, man. It was the safer thing to do. They do not want to try and take any of these engagements. You got a Crob ulti coming in at the end of Exorcism, sure. But you still just took a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade-off, and you got a Courier to boot.
When did Cloud9 become this team that could execute such kind of strategy? Because 2 months ago and 1 month ago, they always take it to late game. They don't play these type of style where you go for the lane and then you avoid fights. I guess avoiding fights is what they're really good at. And they're kind of just taking a different spin to the same style. But
Man, this is a team which works harder than probably any European team out there. And they work so damn hard, and they know they came here to win C9, and you're not going to win, they came here to win TI4, and you're not going to win TI4 by just coming in and playing the same old strats, the same old Dota. You need to be able to be flexible and be dynamic when you play in a tournament like this. And they're doing it beautifully.
Or you could be newbie and run the same strat, and just beat everybody with the same strat, because you're just that good. I think that's how Alliance won TI3 as well, but yeah, there is definitely the fact that you could be versatile, you know, run the Drow Visage and run Meepo. this really different strategy, but they're definitely not out of the woods yet. I think VG Gaming, they're just looking for that one fight, because they just need one fight and just break the map completely open. And it's up to C9 to deny that fight towards VG.
Well, they're going to keep denying. He's going to blink that as well over on a Bounty Hunter. So we got a high maneuverable Bounty Hunter, able to get tracks and then just jump himself away. Or if he needs to, jump into the fight. It allows him to keep up with his high maneuverable here. It's Mountain a little bit of trouble. Holding on the round from RTK. Being given that thing. He's got this Reaver to me. Brings in the rest of the deployment inside the macro fire. It's a wonderful Mystic Flare, but not enough damage to bring down RTK. And now he's trying to hide the tree lines, but it will not work. A nice pick off here from VG Gaming, but they commit BKB from Super, Exorcism, Ravage. They didn't have to use the Eclipse, but the Macro Pyro was also used. And they'll try and take a very, very quick Roshan. The Meepo, C9, they are not going to give VG Gaming the space to finish that blockwork. Hawkshot didn't want a perfect off, but he actually pushed RTK out of this fight. But it's isolated Sylar, who now lets the Eclipse go. Super coming in here, Envy. He's just going to cast a new on Sylar and tank this up. That's the only thing he really can do. He's actually going to live through all of this. Super, the last attack is not enough. 29 life points, he'll deny Ice Pass. Try and find some space for the Earthquake. Catching two RTK. He's too low in life. He's coming in already. He goes in suicidally in. Meepo just poofs it out. And now Fenrir. There's another Earthbind coming off cooldown. 1 second, Sing Sing's linking in. The proofs are coming with the 4-star out, allowing Ben to have a little bit more space, but another Earthbind coming out from Sing Sing. More proofs, so more Earthbind. Macropire down. He's got to get his knee froze out of here, but the Totem Storm slowed him down a little bit. Get out of the fire, man. Over to FY, another Earthbind. They're just controlling VG. Going 1, going 2, going 3, going 4, going 5 down for VG Gaming. The Doombringer coming in for that one. Envy, he actually survived through all of that crazily too and brought his aura back, and now they can go in and try and take Roshan.
If they take this Roshan, there will be such a huge lead, because that's where VG's supposed to win. They're supposed to win these fights. The buybacks are coming out. There's one buyback, but they don't have these ultimates. Sylar does not have a clip. RTK jumps in. Mystic Flare's gonna come down. RTK down about half HP, but Eternal Envy now needs to run. Sing back.
Get out!
He's got the Aegis.
Get out!
He's got the Aegis.
He does. Well, RTK, he may go down there because Sing Sing's respawning. A little bit further back, hook shot in on that fly. They're going in with the track kills also coming out. They got Leland Crop ulti out. Bone Stab, and he's closing with Super, and Super's killing himself. The Blade Mail is not helping him out right now. Bone Stab needs a little bit more space. In comes Sing Sing again, moving it up. Super, the Earthbind not catching much of the BKB. RTK trying to take away the damage with the Anchor Smash, and Sing Sing. Meepo is dropping low for Super. Also low, he got enough. Sing Sing will go down here. Highlight Eye, there's nothing left to give. Triple kill for Super, able to stand with his full Exorcism out, and they're looking for more. The Gush going onto Eternal Envy. He'll have himself an Illusion Room, but that's not going to help him. He lets the Illusion Room go. You'll have to finish it down. All of C9 counter-wiped here by VG Gaming, and Roshan, well, he still was claimed.
Keep in mind that there's no more buyback on Meepo, so shit VG decides to push Cloud9's tower. There's nothing Cloud9 can do about it. That was such a bad fight for Cloud9 to take. They took the entire fight with Super, activated BKB. That's where Mystic Flare does nothing. That's where the Blame Out the Clockwork does nothing. Meepo spent all of his troops on the BKB Cropulus or Death Prophet, and that did nothing. Oh, he wants to come in on D4, and they blow him up. There goes that push. Never mind the push.
That BKB from Bone 7 came out just the right time. They're keeping the tracks up, and now he's trying to catch up to somebody here. But it's not wise when that Ravage is still available. And they don't have Meepo just yet. RTK actually blinking back in for a Gush on Pilot Eye. A little bit more of a necessary move there in the mid lane. But a good pick off, coming back to life again, able to stop the Earthshaker and hold on to your own tier 2 tower.
What a tense game.
It's getting them.
So as the BKBs are important for VG Gaming, we also have to keep track of their timer, the duration, right? Because once it gets to the 4 or 5 second mark, you can see that it takes a long time to kill these meeples. They're just very tanky. Granted,
it's gonna get harder too. Like, he's already got the Reaver and he's on into the Ultimate Orb. He's just full stat pad, and the Skadi's not far off.
Well, I mean, he had an Aegis in that fight. I think that's the only reason why Sing Sing was able to stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
So in the upcoming team fights, assuming that he doesn't have an Aegis, you know, these BKBs, if they are staying in the 8 and second durations, I think VG Gaming could focus and burst down Sing Sing. But if they're down to 5-4, Sing Sing will survive that. He will then burst you down, and that's where VG will get in trouble. But the way I'm seeing it, the defensive items are really overwhelming Sing Sing's damage output. We have multiple Force Staff, we have multiple BKBs, we have Mech, and then, you know, the second Ravage will be coming eventually from ROTK. And I very much so feel that Meepo is not a hero that's capable of dealing with all of that.
There's also another problem coming the way here of VG game of C9. They're losing vision across the map. They just lost their 2 observer wards. A gem purchased by ROTK and carried by Super is now watching the movements, and this is already going to be flagged. Like, they got rid of a ward, but it means the Pylite Die has to be very, very careful about his movements too. He also realized you're sitting underneath the sentry ward in the middle lane, which wasn't the greatest thing in the world. But the range group attacked him, so he backed up. And now Super walks high ground, and he has to blink and force-start himself away to safety. And I'm hearing, well, BKBs. Uh-oh. That was meant to be a Shiva's Guard trigger.
Well, importance of BKB.
It's down to 7 seconds. Maybe he just likes a lower cooldown.
No, I don't think that's part of the plan. It's just...
It's not. Man.
Yeah, the key item here for Vici is the fact that they have a gem roaming about, and they have it, in my opinion, on the best person. Because Super has mobility out of all of Vici Gaming's heroes, and should he see a Bounty Hunter, in theory he could use him up, but you know, Bounty also has a Blink Dagger, so it's kind of like an elaborate dance of, can Bounty get his track off and blink away? Can he just start or continue being that annoyance that he constantly is? And meanwhile, you know, back to what you said 10 minutes ago, it's Cloud9 farming away.
Yeah. They just keep these side lanes out. Pylite Die, nice little track on Super. You make it to the Yulzing himself just to get, yeah, there it goes. Gets rid of the track straight away. Also, Owie 2000 is in one of the most unusual positions I've seen in a while.
Oh,
he's just sitting up there. Pylite, he's close, but he's got Blink and Force up. He's going to be okay. He knows Brone 7 can also make some space, but I'm wondering if Owie's just waiting for the second coming right now. He's there in the tree lines, and he's just... He's waiting for the right time on the top lane.
It makes a lot of sense to do this as a Shadow Shaman, because you can backstab the towers, but... I mean...
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he wants to do. If he wants to try and solo with Jakiro, or...
I mean, no, he's really not looking for the fights, he's avoiding them. Like, as soon as he sees the heroes going back mid, for example, that's when he'll pop out the trees and start farming this wave. Well, I guess when you don't have alliance in TI4, you just need some other team to fill the rat hole, and Cloud9 is doing that very well.
I finally get a track on, which cannot be dispelled, but Owie force-starts himself away from ROTK.
And they have the track mobility, so he's running away at least. Oh, the Yules, he's dead.
He does drop everything, but he never gets it off. Ice Path will go, and, well, he'll be left for dead by Pylite Die. But in the meantime, you've still got 5 heroes from VG Gaming hunting a Skywrath.
Yeah, and actually, if we want to sit down and work out the math, I don't think that's actually worth it for VG Gaming to get a kill on a support, because as you're spending 5 heroes roaming the map to get a support kill, you have 4 or 5 of Cloud9's heroes farming.
Yep.
The map doesn't work out in your favor.
You're even going to have like Eternal Envy. I don't know if there's going to be a Soul Cuirass or a Shiva's Guard coming out from him, but you're going to be pumping a lot more money inside of him. Bounty is still leeching a little bit of experience too and keeping this track up. It's mainly his job to keep the vision up, so Sing Sing knows where he can move, and Sing Sing now has 3.8k gold. That's your Skadi right there. It's no buyback, but it's Skadi.
I mean, we also can't really forget about Sylar, because slowly he has been, you know, working on some big items. He hasn't been dying much since the team fights hasn't been happening, and he's got the, you know, he's got the farm, he's got the Midas, so...
And here he comes to use it to the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. So now C9 have a decision to make. VG Gaming, do they try and stop the push and hold on to their tier 2 tower, or do they try and go for some level of trade? I'm seeing a lot of Meepos moving towards the top lane, with Envy, with Owie. I've got a funny feeling they're going to try and push the tier 3 tower now, and force VG Gaming to respond to them.
Looks like VG Gaming is expecting a backstab. They're very afraid to actually go up to that T2. They're not committing exorcism, at least yet. Able to do it now. Meepo's coming in. Meepo, he's gonna get dumped. There's Rusev, there's all the TV coming in.
Oh,
Meepo's back and he's gonna die. Meanwhile, on the back line here, double BKB's activated. Meepo buys back. He wants to come into this fight. How quickly can they retreat? It's gonna be Shiva from Envy. He doomed Sylar, and it's all up to them to save Sylar. Meepo is gonna find FY. He's gonna be dead. How much more can he get? Clockwork! He finds Super, and Yule Scepter sends him out. He's gonna survive for a little bit longer, and he gets blown up. Rabbit comes in, and Super
Finish him!
No, Ghost will not come back. They're gonna try to get ROTK. He finally makes it back home.
Ooh. Man, Cloud9, it's again a buyback. These guys love doing this kind of stuff. It used to be like Eternal Envy who was the man who had to do it. But in this game is Sing Sing. You know what you're going to give away. Okay, Sing Sing, he got ganked straight away, but you realize, okay, what's on the sidelines? couple of abilities. Let's go in. Let's go fight. We think we can get the upper hand. And now with 4 heroes on the sideline, the Earthshaker's coming up, but there's no big echoes there. It's gonna make, they're going to force us. The lead and the jump in already. Fenrir is tracked up. Shiva's guarded up. There's a lot of damage. Fenrir is hurt himself. And the Fissure. He's not going to die of this one. The Scorchers were ticking him down to safety. But in the meantime, they've ravaged the tier 3 tower. There's your double buybacks. And now they force VG getting to waste their money. Falling back, concussive shot means ROTK cannot follow. And Cloud9 are the first team to damage inside the base in the tier 3 tower.
You know, if you ask me who's going to get the first racks or first tier 3 tower at the end of the draft, no questions asked Vici Gaming, but Cloud9 has shaped the game in such a way that it's not about the fights. Well, it really is, but it's about taking the fights smartly next to your tier 2 where you buy back and can get back to the fight immediately. Also, you gotta keep in mind that Bounty Hunter, he's in mobile war, but his tracking, he is earning so much gold for Cloud9. We're seeing about a 10,000 gold lead against a Luna, against a Death Prophet. These heroes normally farm so much better than any other heroes in the game, but
okay, I was going to point it out for Pylai if he doesn't actually see this one. There is a gem on the ground, which he keeps walking past on the bottom lane. No, he's just not coming in range of it.
I think if the crowd yells louder, he might hear it.
Maybe. He's already got 1 gem, so maybe he just doesn't want to get too much bling. That weighs you down as a bounty hunter. How can you be stealthy if you're carrying around multiple gems?
You gotta have enough blings to open up like a jewelry shop, right? Like, just get 2 gems, a couple of rings. There you go, man.
Realize I hit my peons going back to Dota 2. Well, Pylai, nice little track over on FY, and now FY is forced to use sentry wards to try and scout out this bounty hunter. This is not the most efficient way of doing this, and he knows it as well.
So something slight to talk about with Bounty Hunter's track is we see this red marker, for example, on top of Shakira right now. Yep. The enemy will not see it. They will only see it on their own little portrait on the bottom left. And if you're Bounty Hunter and you're tracking from high ground like how he just did, the enemy will not see that marker on top of you. So you gotta, if you're playing against Bounty Hunter, you have to pay very close attention to your hero portrait and those little markings and make sure you're not tracked. For example, tracked and then trying to smoke is a big no-no. And if you see FY is dropping that smoke and dropping on a courier, maybe they'll way out of the track, maybe they'll just smoke without a hero.
Considering he's sitting inside of his own base.
Exactly, like all of these are small benefits that you don't see on the scoreboard, but it matters so much, especially when you're playing this kind of rat Dota. You just want as much vision as possible.
Wait, Pylai found the gem. Pylai found the gem.
Okay.
Congratulations, Pylai. The little Easter egg that's there, and you leave the Observer Ward behind. Critical moment of the game. Something that you also talk about, normally he goes in for the Skadi.
Yes.
He actually went in straight for the Disable before that point. So he hasn't finished up the heart just yet. Obviously, you don't gain any bonus light points for your Meepos because it doesn't share out that way. So he actually went for the side device. So he's looking for more disable and control. They may need him to go and try and contest it. I don't think it's seen anywhere near Roshan. Yeah, like Pylai is looking at it, but he can't stop it. And Fenrir is in perfect position for the jump.
Aegis up, especially against Luna, is definitely a big problem. The idea behind the Hex is such that you could Hex the BKB heroes before they activate the BKB and get a clean kill. But doing that now against the Luna with Aegis just became that much harder, because, I mean, you could technically do that against her, but she'll come back alive and activate her BKB. So I think that Aegis meant much more than the first 2 Aegis combined. Especially now that Vici Gaming are pumping out so much more damage. We're almost looking at a completed butterfly on Sylar if you give him a little bit more time to farm.
I'm now starting to come to your part of the court here and wonder, like, what do you do in this late game up against a fully stacked Luna? Especially when that fully stacked Luna is going to be done by about 45 minutes, 50 minutes into this game. You're going to need a lot more to fight with, and yeah, Pylai coming in very close. He doesn't know if there's entries, he doesn't know if there's going to be a fresh gem over there. Should also note too, that was a 3rd Roshan, so super. Not only does he have the extra life points that can come in from Exorcism, he's also carrying the cheese around on the Death Prophet. So this is going to be a real critical thing for him coming into the engagement. And C9, I almost feel right now, if they want to try and win this game and keep their TI4 hopes alive, they've got to win on the decision game. The late game decision-making game. If they can do that, then they could be looking really damn good.
the decision game as well as having some actual physical right-click damage, because when the BKBs are being popped, that's where we really have to rely on.
Oh, Pilot Eye, gotta be really careful. He's underneath the sentry ward, blinks away on the edge of the Shiva's guard. They're super unable to hold him there. And someone's really got to take that DD rune in the bottom river. Maybe that's one way to stop it. Just give a DD rune over to Meepo. There's your damage required.
Looks like Super is going to thatch that one up.
Yeah, not the greatest thing for him. It's an okay thing. With Sing again, back up to that top lane. He's up to 4,000 gold now. His CS, about to crack 400. It's moving up there. He's basically going at least like 10 CS, like what was that, a minute? As an average, but up to 21,000 on the net worth. VG Gaming is trying to keep these lanes pushed out, and C9 will continue to evade them. That's all they've really got to do, but it's not really working for them now. The experience starting to drop. VG Gaming getting a little bit more advantage on that one. But of course, in this game, if C9 are able to take 1 Rax, then that makes the world of difference for them, because their Meepo is just so much free to move around the map and do what he wants.
Oh, Doom, he needs to get out of there.
Yeah, he's blinking and Scorched Earth. Any movement speed he's got to get himself away from Super.
I mean, it's very interesting to talk about the, like, for example, Meepo has the highest network, but Doom is the next one highest. And in fact, if you want to look at the goal graph, it's a 12,000 goal lead for Cloud9, but here's the question, Toby, does any of that matter?
No.
I don't think it matters as much as normal game. To me, it matters where the fight happens, how the fight results, and honestly, it doesn't matter if there's a 12k goal lead or 2k goal lead. If Vici wins a fight, your base is gone.
Yeah. I'm not going to debate that one, man. I'm definitely not going to debate that one.
So Cloud9 is definitely extending the game. That has been the game plan for a while, but what exactly are they extending it to?
They're coming now. They're coming now. They've finished the butterfly. They're feeling good to go. There's no refresher or fully on ROTK, but they just trigger Super Zombie. She's rather early. This onto a tier 2 tower while fortification is still available, which is it going to be used by C9? They hold on to it.
Radiant's
they don't let it
middle
go.
tower
The
has
rank is
fallen.
more important to them. They'll let the tier 2 tower fly. Considering Super Zoldy was popped that early, I'm surprised they didn't just use it and delay them up a little bit.
No, I think what he wanted to do is get the tower for free, get the refresh orb completed on ROTK, and then you go for the push. And you can see the recipe is now on the courier and it's about to deliver. So
we've actually got double refresher orbs right now. We got a refresher orb over on the Tidehunter. The second refresher orb belongs to the Doombringer.
Yep.
So Eternal Envy almost has enough money to fully finish that. In fact, the courier is already making his way up. So he's gonna sacrifice his own buyback to make sure he can do about 2 targets at the start of the fight. And technically, he could take out both the Death Prophet as well as the Titan before the game even begins.
I just love these long games. More so because there's just so much at stake. One mistake will decide it all, and really, I think these games really determine which are the team that's most poised and not likely to crack. Traditionally, it's been the teams from China, your IGs, your LGDs, your VGs, your DKs that just play so well in the late game, but Cloud9, they live off of these long games, so there's something for them as well. We'll see who's going to make that first mistake.
That we will. Right now, VG Gaming thought they might have had a moment. This observer ward they've got up on top of the cliff inside their dire side jungle. This guy well, yeah, that guy. He was watching fairly closely. Pilot Eye, his movement away. Super's got this gem back on him. This one purchased up by Fenrir. He was trying to look out for that bounty counter, but they're just chasing shadows most of the time now. Like, it seems like VG Gaming, sometimes we group up, they get themselves like the tower, they get themselves Roshan, they find themselves maybe a pick-off here or there, and then we move ourselves back to split push kind of thing. It's we just bounce from one gameplay to the next, but VG Gaming, they just had enough. We're coming back down middle lane again, all 5 players, the Exorcist is back off cooldown, they still have Aegis, they still have G, but Aegis only has 30 seconds, but Pilot Eye, 4-star down, ROTK gonna be on the tail end of him. Pilot Eye will turn for one last track, but he will die outside the base. He's not the critical hero, however.
He's got buyback if he wants to use it.
He does. But while the track is there, he's going to still get the bonus of Alba and Super. Well, there goes your ultimate. Remember, the clip was saved from before, so it will be used now. Where's the extra help coming? The Earthmine has really long range there by Sing, but he does not want to jump into this lineup. The Aegis, he wants to reclaim him 1 second time, and there goes your Aegis. So it's only cheese available for the fight. The VG Gaming have already done the damage. They take the range racks, and those bouncing glaives are destroying the melee rack, and because Sing, he can't blink him when he's getting done by those glaives.
And they want to fight. Buyback right now.
Triggered the beacon. BKB and Clockwork. Big hook in. He's managed to stop F9 here. Hex up. They move over towards Sylar. Sylar's gone too. They let the mid ranks go so they can get this. RTK blink up from Eternal Envy. He doesn't have the secondary do, but RTK goes down. Fenrir will TP out. Super on the run. He's got cheese available, but he won't want to use it for this one, or will he? He's still running away from this one. Earthwine won't reach him, but there's your blink from Envy. Gets the kill, drops the jet. They must get a counter Rax. The bottom lane is actually pushing out right now. Fenrir is trying to stop the push. The range Rax is almost down, but this is a ticket to take tier 2 tower in the middle lane and maybe just push in and take the bottom Rax. Sylar's defending. If they kill him off right now, Envy's very much in the front line. Oh God! All the way in! The Skyrim by Dom and Sylar! They gotta bring him down, Howie! You are important! He gets the kill on Luna! Moves over, Yule Scepter, protecting Super for the moment, but now he drops, he's still inside the Cold Super! The cheese will pop and he uses the buyback! It's a deathback right now! He's on the sidelines! The bottom Rax is going to Cloud9! And maybe even more if they can rotate towards the middle lane. They have their army of Meepo to force him down. And the tier 3 tower, where else do they go? Pylite die. He's looking to get the early tracks. PG Gaming makes their way back out again. There's your tier 2 tower gone the middle lane. This opens up the mid racks.
They're going for tier 3. Never doubt the tenacity of Cloud9. I believe the base of PG Gaming is crumbling. The Meepos are pushing so quick.
Oh,
tier 3 is going down. The Rax is going down.
Where's your Ravage? He can't do it. Bone 7's got the cogs. He is keeping BG inside the fountain. Solo here is the Clockwork. The mid-melee Rax is gone. The mid-range Rax is now also almost toast. The top Rax is going. They're getting done from all sides while they're killing him inside the base. C9, they got BG completely and utterly choked out. Bone 7, he'll actually survive through this. It's 4 Rax, it's Megas. C9, I think they've done it. Eternal Envy is still running himself away here from BG Gaming, and they're going to back themselves up, but it's Mega creeps up against BG Gaming 45 minutes into this game with everything on the line for C9.
How did they do it?
Patience.
They're not supposed to win this stage of the game.
The funny thing is though, man, it still feels like it's the noble sacrifice. It's the, oh, I'm dead. Come in, and BG Gaming, they take the invitation. They walk right into C9 and go, okay, we've got ourselves a good fight. Buybacks come and they can't retreat in time. You've got Meepos who are able to jump themselves all across the map, especially now with the BTs over on the Meepo. He's going anywhere he wants to on this map. Even Ali 2000, I can't believe he's the one to actually get that kill on the bottom lane. This guy's got a BKB 4-star Ghost Scepter now. It's actually very difficult to kill off the Skywrath mage. And all of this was done with extra track gold. They hit 22,000 gold advantage right now and push up around the 8,000 network. VG Gaming, they're going on this, but look on the bottom lane. You've got Sing Sing pushing in, looking for the tier 4 towers versus the GG push coming out here from VG Gaming. They've got to go for the tier 4 towers. Now, fortification available for VG Gaming, and as far as C9 they don't actually have fortification. Now, do they go for the racks? They go for the tier 4.
Hold, just hold.
Oh, shot.
Misses hook. Hold 7, he's running himself in.
Tier 4
He's getting
towers.
shredded apart. He does have buyback.
They're not doing the job though. They're not going for the towers. Back inside the dive base, they're already through one of the tier 4s. Sylar, now he goes in. Envy, Hawks comes in. Sylar, the Ravage will go, but they haven't finished the fortress. It's the dire side. Half-life, 1,500. It's over. C9 will win and force out the deciding game. Game number 3. Who will be eliminated and who advances to the lower bracket first final? Cloud9 keep themselves in it with the Meepo pick in 46 minutes and 45 seconds.